As we've been covering extensively, Trump really, really, really wants us to focus on the squirrel of Russia, the Russia collusion hoax, I think he's calling it, which is bringing back up documents to make the false argument that Obama fabricated intelligence to make it look like Russia meddled in the election in 2016 when they didn't. And we've gone through the specifics of why they're lying so much about that, why Tulsi Gabbard's being ridiculous. But a part of what the argument from them has developed into is just now making completely fabricated arguments themselves about, and we don't even know if Russia tried to help Trump at all with the different schemes we've talked about. Again, which didn't delegitimize the election results. Trump won the election. But what were they doing to try to help in that effort? And it went from, we think Obama knew that there was faulty intelligence, not true, and that he directed a fake report, not true, now to just, we don't think Russia even had a preference for Trump, which is completely ridiculous. So let me take you to a pretty stunning, shocking moment in Helsinki in 2018, where Trump, clip is now circulating, standing next to Putin, and a reporter asks, Putin, Vlad, did you prefer Trump, and did you facilitate actions to further that interest? And his response might surprise you. As we go through this segment, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate the show, and then a step further is the join button to get the bonus show.
Did you want President Trump to win the election, and did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Да, я хотел, чтобы он выиграл.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because he talked about bringing the U.S.-Russia relationship back to normal.
Whoops. Well, I guess now MAGA trusts Putin more than they trust U.S. intelligence. So, there's the guy you like saying yes. Exactly. Wild. Now, I always want to provide the proper context, so let me just jump over to this for a second. Putin has given different answers to similar questions. Okay, so he's not always saying stuff like that, and maybe their argument would be, no, he meant yes, I preferred Trump, and he wasn't addressing the second part, did he direct officials? So he's both hinted and denied Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election, depending on the context and the audience. And then he made that notable statement. He's admitted clearly that he wanted Trump to win, but then has denied the Russian government involved, even though we have plenty of evidence on that front, but blamed patriotic hackers or rogue Russian actors and accused the U.S. of hypocrisy, saying they intervene all the time. Well, maybe, but shut up, please, for a second here. That's funny. We didn't do it, but if we did, y'all did too. That is always a little strange part of arguments, which is you justify what you didn't do. I didn't do that, but if I did not kill him, but if I did, he was a real dick. Okay, let me just tell you. Do you know how terrible that guy was? But I didn't do it. I'm just saying, if I did, it would be fine. And in that moment, I guess he just totally confirmed it, which obliterates Trump's argument. Now, the attempts by Russia to help themselves by helping MAGA narrative has continued. One of the really notable recent examples was the funding from the Kremlin or Kremlin-associated actors, money to this tenant media organization that then was a huge name in right-wing politics for a second and was paying Benny Johnson, was paying Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and obviously once the DOJ indicted the tenant media thing, you had those people come out and go, no, please, we were the victims. They would come up to us with wads of cash and they would smack it across our face, and I would go, and then let's keep it. It was so humiliating. I didn't know where to put it. Do you know what it's like to not know where to put so much money that you have? I feel like a stripper going to the bank handing them ones. But in this case, it's wire transfers for hundreds of thousands. It's humiliating. And I believe they didn't know, but they were being paid by an organization that was like, hey, do you want like way more money than anyone makes in this space for literally nothing? And they said, sure. And so then the thing we've said is they should maybe ask why. they were getting all that money. And it's because they were perpetuating ideas that do two key goals of Russia. The first is obvious. People like Tim Pool were screaming, Ukraine is our enemy, and we shouldn't give them any aid. So that's just directly in Russia's interest. So it makes sense they would want to boost him, even if he didn't know where the money was coming from. But the number two is just the type of divisive discourse and detached from reality messaging they do is helpful to destabilizing American discourse in general. And so on that note, there's this big question. Tenet Media collapsed after the indictment, and so they presumably stopped receiving that money. But the weirdness around these figures has not gone away. Like Benny Johnson, who we talk about.
What's up, guys? Benny?
Yeah, that... Right. There's account Gadget. YouTuber Benny Johnson's channel has exploded, gaining 2.2 million subscribers in April, May, and June, making it by far the fastest growing political channel. And I saw that post, and I was thinking, what is this about? And then it linked to a source, and it was David Pakman, our good friend. So then he wrote a Substack, a sussy suspect, saying the most suspicious thing I've ever seen on YouTube. And it's about this Mr. Benny. After the Russian money supposedly dried up, something's happening with his channel, which David has years and years, decades of experience. I have now a few years experience. It's not, something's off. It's not organic. Because organic channels get views because it is performing well in the algorithm, and that's proportional to the number of new subscribers you get, right? That's how you guys found me. Hello. Which, make sure you subscribe. Wait, what? I already said that, but I guess I'll say it again. If you want to support a channel that proudly gets $0 from Russia, this is your one. Or David Pakman. He's amazing. So he said, I've been publishing political content on YouTube for a long time. See my 2009 videos, which make me cringe. Oh, 2009 videos. One of the tried and true realities of publishing to YouTube for many years is that you come to realize there are some inevitabilities. These include that video performance can be unpredictable, that if you publish political content, roughly half of your audience will hate you and your content. And relevant for us today, that new subscribers follow video view numbers extremely closely, except when something odd or unusual is taking place. So this was the thing that came up that caused a lot of people to go, huh? This is in Q2. So in 1 quarter of the year, the growth of different channels. And you can see Benny Johnson is obliterating everybody.
What's up, guys? It's Benny.
I guess they just can't get enough of Benny's little Johnson. And that's that. Now, if you saw that type of sub growth, this is not about going, oh, he's getting more, okay? I mean, does that burn my heart to its core? Yeah. Am I jealous? Yeah. But is that why I'm bringing this up? No. Because if he were getting the type of views that would lead to 2.2 million new subscribers in a quarter, then it would just be, wow, he's really good at the YouTube game. But it's unusual, as David notes in this Substack piece, because Johnson's new subscriber numbers are completely out of line with views. And he shows you his channel, and my channel would look just like this. Is David Pakman's. But any YouTuber, you would have this exact same phenomenon, which is one of the lines demonstrated there is his views over time. One of them is his subscribers. And you could see that whenever the views go up, very proportionally, the subscribers go up. Whenever it goes down, it goes down. But if you look at Benny's, the views went down and the subscribers went way up. Strange, bitty. These charts go back about a year, but the key areas Q2 this year are under the yellow and green arrows. As you can see, explosive, unprecedented subscriber growth with no view growth and possible even stagnating views. And he compares it to Midas Touch, which is seeing huge sub growth, but is seeing huge view surges. And then he gives different speculative conclusions or what's the hypotheses. If a creator sees something on their channel so viral, okay, so that's just some context. But essentially what he goes on to say is it could be some group helping to buy subscribers. But if you were doing normal video promotion, that would also get you more views too. And so it's really confusing. If paid subscriber acquisition is being used at scale for political ends, even legally, it would mark a shift toward a kind of influence laundering where perception of popularity becomes as valuable as actual engagement. So the reason why all of us in the YouTube world are really confused by this is because you're thinking there feels like there's something not organic going on here. And it's not just about Benny, whatever, one YouTuber, but about, is there the equivalent of a new type, a Tenet Media type actor that's trying to put their finger on the scale, even without Benny's knowledge maybe, in flooding fake subscribers his way. But usually YouTube's pretty good at noticing that and removing those, I thought. And David, articulated thinking that too. And so being on the lookout for it. But what I don't understand and what my counterparts don't understand talking to them is buying subscribers. Maybe if you're really small and then you get some subscribers and it makes it look like you have a bigger audience than you do, it could help where people will watch longer because they think you're bigger. But he was already past, before this strange phenomenon, millions of subscribers. So like, what's the difference between, okay, you got 2 or you got 5? You're still going to be seen as a big channel and credible in that sense, in the large audience sense. And so just empty subscribers that were purchased in some way, and it wasn't through normal promotion that again would also see increases in viewership. I don't even see what the end goal is there. Just to make you look bigger. But what is that? How much does that really help you? Because that's not going to help you algorithmically. If it turns out to be fraudulent like bots or purchase subscribers, it exposes both the ease of gaming the platform and the lack of effective enforcement, he's saying, if that is the reason. We really don't know. And if that manipulation helps secure media coverage, fundraising, or even political capital, the downstream effects extend far beyond YouTube. Yeah, so you can read this. We'll try to link this Substack piece if you want to look at more of the details, the hypotheses that are laid out, or the theories. But very strange. A lot of strange with those people. Because again, for some of you that might not seem so remarkable, but if you're in the space, you know why it's so bizarre. Because you have to get a certain number of views to even mathematically get a solid subgrowth, and that's what everyone deals with if you're doing it organically. So is it an outside group helping? Is he just dumping a lot of his own money back into creating that facade of massive growth? Is it organic? And if so, how? Is it just people watch him and they're like, Benny. And then because he already got exposed for the Tenet Media thing, it's like, not a ton of trust there. And just beware, not to discredit what he's doing aside from being terrible content, but he does have a real audience too, to be clear. But it's a sad state of affairs where some of the most divisive and non-factual players by sometimes literally foreign entities or just domestic entities are being supported sometimes explicitly to destabilize U.S. political discourse and to cause it to be more chaotic and more confused and for more people to go down crazy rabbit holes. And so it calls back to our attention again why we have to figure out, and I have an answer for you. I mean, this is the best I can do is putting out my own content. But we have to figure out how to stop that trend we've been seeing, which is just the echo chambers becoming more significant and more detached. And so increasingly, democracy is going to be really hard to operate within if we have no shared facts. And if in some cases that was artificially induced by different interests who have an interest, or different actors who have an interest in just that. So it's a scary time. Apparently, some miscellaneous things here. Trump got caught cheating at golf. Let's see. I'm not a big golf guy, but let's see if we can catch him. So he's walking there. He's on his golf cart. His caddy there drops the ball. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. There was even reporting about it. Did Trump get caught cheating at golf? Viral video blows up on social media. Someone once wrote that Trump cheats, obviously. On Sunday, a video made the round social media purporting to show Trump and his caddy caught in the act. And I don't really care. I was about to read you. I don't care. This is so dumb. But if you see something about that, then now you're informed. Okay, and then speaking of the people who were paid money from Tenet Media, Tim Pool, who's another right-wing commentator, who I've appeared on the show of, went on this. Do you remember his name? I don't remember his name. This guy's show. Maybe Cole can find it while I'm playing it.
Matan, Matan.
Okay. Evan. Oh, okay. So he has a show, and I guess there's like a comedic element to it. He's going to ask Tim Pool about the Tenet Media scandal. And I just wish the audience would wonder, why is our chief adversary interested in funneling money to those people? There just has to be some answer. Like if I had a group approach me and say, you're just so good, we want to pay you, what was he paying me? $100,000 per episode. Because you just something about the way, I'd be like, damn straight. Of course that's what I'm worth. And I'd say, give it. But then if I found out it was Russia or a different entity with wildly different priorities and values than what I think Americans are supposed to share, I would at least have to wonder why. I would have to think about it. Doesn't seem like he has. And this beginning part I don't endorse. He's being sort of mocked for his this guy Tim Pool never takes off his beanie. I think he wore it in his wedding, which is cool. And I don't endorse ever making fun of people being bald or anything, which is I guess why he wears it. But he did take it off. But then they get to the Tenet Media part.
Wow, I can't believe that happened. Hold on. Can you leave it off?
For a little bit.
Okay, that's cool. I got like a special.
I'm greasy right now too, though.
You do actually have more hair than I thought you would.
Do I?
Can I have the Pepto-Bismol?
Why?
I have a sudden stomach ache. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. For today's guest, we have Team Russia. Please welcome in. The one about Tim Pool. That guy, I don't know, he's like an online creator, was paid to promote Russian propaganda.
This is just fake.
You were not paid?
I was paid a lot of money by a lot of people.
I heard that there was that guy, he was paid.
Why? Just so you know, if you're popular on YouTube, and he gets good, I think he's popular, you don't need that. You could just, number one, YouTube through their normal ad program, you get paid. And then you can cultivate an audience that will pay, like we do the membership program, right? So that people can pay for a bonus show to support the show. And then you can run a business, and then as you get bigger, you can have more money to hire more people. I know that if people just approach saying, here's a bunch of money, a lot of people would take it. But I get a lot of money from a lot of people is like, who? How many people are chucking money at you, and why? And why do you seek that so much? Why don't you just try to more organically fund your operation?
It's $100,000 per episode to do it. Is that not true?
It's not true.
So it was just an accident that you got paid $100,000 to promote Russia?
Never promoted Russia.
I'm just saying, it was just an...
Never promoted. Take this down. Let's see. Never promoted Russia. Tim Pool, Ukraine enemy. Tim Pool, Ukraine enemy. Is this the one that I'm thinking of?
But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine.
What did he say?
Is that not true?
It's not true.
So it was just an accident that you got paid $100,000 to promote Russia?
Never promoted Russia.
I'm just saying.
Never promoted Russia. Never promoted Russia.
But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country.
What did he say? Take that down. Take this down. What did he say? What did he say?
Dollars to promote Russia?
Never promoted Russia. Never
promoted Russia.
Is the enemy of this country.
I don't know. Maybe I was stupid.
Promoted Russia.
I'm just saying, it was just that whole thing where you got paid to run the show from Tenet, the one in Tennessee, was just a joke, just an accident. You didn't know that they were being funded.
They weren't being funded.
You just said that they were funneling money.
No, I didn't. I said
Or something like that.
the DOJ made an allegation and abandoned the case, and there's no evidence.
Okay.
There was evidence. They didn't abandon the case. But ask yourself, if that indictment happened right towards the end of the Biden administration, okay, and the case was ongoing, these cases take a long time to complete, and it is ongoing, but you think the Trump DOJ is going to prioritize that? I don't think so. This is also Trump's hair. I just had a lot of random things. Check. Let's just check this off the list. After golfing, looking dapper as ever. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.